I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey. It's Sunday. My favorite day of the week. I'm Hollywood Leon, and I'm joined by a fabulous panel of ladies looking fly tonight. My partner in crime, OK Drew J.
Hey, boo. Happy Sunday, y'all.
And with a smoky eye and a green ensemble over here, Erica Edwards.
What's up, party people?
And we can't forget Danny B, matching green
Hey,
with
y'all.
the sister vibes over there.
Sister vibes.
Some sibling vibes over here. Kind of like Kenya and No, I'm just kidding. I was going to say, actually, more Portia
honey.
and Candy laughing like siblings over there at Kenya, because we're laughing at Kenya tonight. Welcome to AfterBuzz's Real Housewives of Atlanta After Show. We're going to get into this. We're kind of covering 2 episodes today. I know we let you guys down last week, and we apologize. We had stuff to do. But we're gonna break it down for you guys. We're just going to lightly tread on last week's episodes and then dive into this one, because we have a lot to talk about. Mark kind of really stepped this game up and made this episode exciting for me. So overall, it was fabulous. But I want to talk about this leopard lunch with the randoms. 2.5 hours late to your own party. Nene, get out of here. I am done with you guys. What do we think about this?
I don't know how Candy stayed so long. Like, you have a good 30 for me. You have a good 30 minutes, and then I'm out of there. 2.5 is, like, ridiculous.
I'm kind of surprised she stayed, too.
It's
Yeah.
a food-involved event, so I feel like that's not shade towards Candy. I
Yeah,
truly
true.
appreciate that every time there's a fight, Candy's always eating because that's me, and so I think it's a food-related event. Candy will stay.
I mean, I think Plus and Cynthia and Eva came and left, and then Kenny was there, and then Kenny, I feel like somebody should have stayed until, people showed up if it was going to continue. So, I mean, it seemed reasonable, actually.
It just seemed weird, though, when Nene actually showed up to her event 2.5 hours late with 20 people. It's like, what time did you tell those people to come? Or did you get shuttled in with all of them? It all seemed very strange to me, especially for someone. Y'all remember this? I'm going to take you down the memory lane here. This is why I have my own show here at AfterBuzz for Bravo, because I remember it all, you guys. Do you remember when Nene was renting a house in LA and she had a party and everyone showed up 2 hours late and she would not let them in?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
She stopped them at the driveway and she was like, the party started at 10,
I do remember
9:30
that.
and it is midnight. And everyone's like, there's still people inside the house. And she's like, the party is over. The food is put away. So how are you going to show up 2.5 hours late? I just wanted to bring that up.
Yes.
Let us know what you guys think in the comments, because that was crazy. It made me want to have contractions like
Exactly.
Eva was.
Although the way it was shot, though, because when they showed her coming in, she was walking in by herself. So I feel like the other 30 people were probably in another meeting room on the side, but Candy didn't know who they were. And so that's why they couldn't combine, because they didn't really all like, he come together. She walked up, they showed her walking by herself, and then all of a sudden 35 women appeared.
Yeah.
And I will tell you this, man, just because you're not on reality TV don't mean you are random. Those people are business owners. They have lives, and they got to check that.
Well,
in.
you know
so
what,
they're
though?
not random. Shout out to you all. I don't know your names. I've never seen you before. We've never seen you on the
I
show.
am
But we
using-
think you're wonderful people.
I am using
passionate.
Candy's verbiage. Thank you very much. Candy's the one like, I don't know who these random chicks are. I'm just saying. Nene's the one that kind of brought the entrepreneurship to the forefront, which I feel like she should have done with the ladies, like, so we're not all confused. Like, I'm confused just like the rest of the cast was. You should have been like, this is a brunch / like a real event that I actually host for business owners and entrepreneurs around Atlanta that are female.
It was
like,
not in
it
the
was
invite.
just not, there was no clarity.
Yeah, but I think it's very on brand for Nene to leave you going, what the hell? Like,
Yeah.
Not like, because even her last episode, even her conversation with Cynthia where she just starts crying, I was like, sis. She's very good. I want to know what this life coach is teaching her, because I think it's just how to be more manipulative.
And I feel like this life coach should have been there when she was acting. Okay, but just saying.
Why wasn't she
That's what I'm
there?
saying. That's what that's when she needed you, because she would have gotten more roles, boo. Because now she's actually, she's
I love
almost
that she
believable.
always
She's
has
better.
like a cocktail. Like the therapist is always, she always has to have like a Lynchburg lemonade during her session.
Right.
Like it's very interesting. But Drew gave us a good segue. Let's talk about this Nene and Cynthia thing really quickly. Nene had an emotional breakdown, had to go outside while having no accountability at all. If that's not talent, I don't know what is. Like, I don't know how you can like play the victim here. I'm not saying Cynthia's totally innocent here. There was two people here who could not come to like a mutual understanding. Every time Nene threw something out, it was like a tennis match. She was like, "I've done this," and Cynthia was like, "Well, you've done this too, and you've done this, and you've done this too." Well, I responded, and I responded too. So it was just not going anywhere. But the one thing that Cynthia did was she pressed the button, and that button could not be unpushed. She was sent into like in her feels.
Yes.
She's like, I mean, I was like, are we talking about your mama again?
But-
Because you're about to have a breakdown like last time. We need the therapist that held her last time. Remember? Nene's going through something right now.
But did you see a tear? I didn't.
I was saying, Nene does.
She did cry a little bit.
Nene does what I do with my man, which is when I'm losing an argument, I just start crying because
Yes!
I don't know what to do.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, I didn't
It
think any
works.
buttons were pushed. I think exactly like you said, Leanne, we wasn't getting nowhere. She wasn't winning. She wasn't dominating Cynthia like she usually does. And she was like, "Oh, okay, this supposed to be. I'm on my makeup tour, so I can stay in the show or whatever. So I'm trying to make up with everyone, so people will film with me." And then she's like,
It's not
"Okay,
going my way.
I'm gonna have to start crying because Cynthia's not buying anything I'm selling so far." But I mean, I do, and maybe she was really upset. Like, okay, Cynthia's not hearing me, and I'm gonna have to cry to get her to be on my side. Maybe
At
but-
some point, Cynthia's just gonna have to let her walk out, and you not walk
Yeah.
out after her. She's
Yeah.
not a child.
But I do feel like she hit a nerve because it was a familiarity. If you're listening to us on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating now.
Exactly. in proofreading. But yes.
Thank you
please
so
go
much.
ahead.
No, but it just seemed really familiar. I'm like, this is taking me back to the reunion with the all white outfits when we brought up Nene's mom, and she could not compose herself. It was
Right.
like a trigger, and I feel like we could have gone there, but Cynthia took the high road, like she said, and she was like, look, let's just talk about the Bailey Tower. This is what I claimed. I'm like,
Right.
this is a nice note to end on. Let's get into this episode because we still have so much to talk about. Mike and Cynthia open up the episode. They're having the talk. I guess their first fight, or it's like what we're seeing as a first fight, it's all about his book and the content in it. I want to ask a question and then we can segue right into like our thoughts on this. Is always a cheater once a cheater?
No.
No.
Is once a cheater always
Once
a
a
cheater? Is
cheater,
that
always
your
a cheater.
question?
Yeah. Erica, stop
read
it.
you.
She been reading me since the episode started.
Once a cheat, no, it's not.
Not if you really want to change. If
Yeah.
you like realize that was so wrong of me, I want to change, I never want to do that again, then no.
And I think it's a relationship by relationship like situation because there's boyfriends I've had that I totally would have cheated on given the opportunity. And there's boyfriends I wouldn't have cheated on.
And I
you
think,
know?
and I don't necessarily think it's relationship. I think it's the person. Like, I don't think it has anything to do with Cynthia or anybody else. It's where you are. So if you're at a certain maturity level where you realize that this is just trifling and you could just break up with the person,
I agree with you.
then you kind of come to that. But if you don't, then you don't. And I don't think it really has much to do with any of the people that you're dating.
I agree. I feel like it has to do with stages of your life.
Exactly,
Like,
exactly.
In your 20s, you might be a little bit more careless, a little bit more promiscuous, a little bit more slutty. And, like, you might not take in people's feelings into consideration. Like, you're all about you. And I feel like in your 30s, you're more kind of trying to find your ground. So I don't know. I feel like by your 40s, you're just not trying to deal with that. And Cynthia's in her 50s, so she's like, I am not going to cheat. It's never going to happen. And you should be really done with this. So she's saying that she would never, ever cheat. And he's like, oh, well, I guess you're perfect. So it's like, oh, okay, I really feel like this is actually healthy, though. You need to see how he fights.
Yeah.
You need
For
to see
real,
that other
though.
side of him before you get married. You don't want to marry someone and then you have your first fight and you realize he's a maniac. Like, what if he's someone that throws stuff and you guys live in an all-glass house? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're breaking my stuff. You need to see that dirty side.
I will say though, Cynthia kind of needs to get over the cheating thing because he's never in your relationship giving you anything to make you feel like he's cheating. So for you to focus on his past, like clearly those didn't work out for a reason, and you wouldn't be with him if they did work out. So you just gotta let it go, sis, because you gotta really focus on what you and him are doing and not what he and his past.
So you think she's judging him?
Yeah, because he hasn't given her anything to worry about in their relationship, so she shouldn't be looking at, like, it would be different if he was like verbally abusive and all this stuff to his like exes. Then it would be like, okay, girl, you should be judging him. But like, I don't know.
But meeting all those girls was weird. It was like 30 women in Cynthia's house, and she's like, what is happening?
That part is weird, although I feel like in this particular scene, she came off as judgmental. Like, you're not perfect. I mean, you let Peter ruin your credit.
saying
So
why
are you
married
here
Peter?
now?
Right.
Yes, exactly.
You married
Thank
Peter.
You know, so pull back. And that's how she came off. She didn't come off like, okay, what's going on? What's going on in our relationship? But the line was, you have so many faults. Maybe you need to write a book. Wait, excuse me? Who you talking to?
That was shady.
Yeah, that was so
That's
shady.
crazy to even come at somebody like
And
that.
I don't know if I would be that stressed out if my dude had like girlfriend. I don't know. She just was a little too bothered by it. And I'm like, you still occasionally hit up Peter. Like, maybe you should be more focused on.
But it's a tell-all book. Like, let me tell it. Like,
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is. That's
What do you
why he
think's
wrote
gonna
the
be
book.
in it?
Yeah.
You're on
Yeah.
a reality TV show. You got married on TV. Like, let's not be so judgy.
Right.
We're going to move on to Nene's house. And the first question I have to ask is, why is the dog always in the kennel?
Always.
You got a big-ass house. You got a big-ass yard. You got plenty of space.
You got
like,
a big ass.
what? Exactly. Like, what is happening? Let the poor little... He's this big. Player, let him play. Like, I don't understand why he's always in the kennel. I don't get it. I don't get it. But Greg reveals that him and Mark have been texting. He wants to go to the event, but Petty Kenya is like, she tagged everybody on Instagram, but Nene. If that's not petty, I don't know what is.
Petty.
Number one petty move, kind of like that. Because I've kind of done something like that
too.
before, too.
That's how you do it. You know what I'm saying? That's how you cut the person out of the photo and then post it. All that good
Exactly.
stuff. Yes.
Done that too.
But I feel like when you do that kind of shade that's that petty, you just got to be like,
Yeah, own it.
I did it because
What'd
I
you-
wanted to, yeah.
What you do is you post the photo, you tag her in it, but you put everyone's tag over her face in the photo. Bam.
I am done with
Or
you.
a
I've done
blur
that
out.
too.
Yeah.
A blur out. That's
Like,
how you do
no
that.
one's going to hit up the profile with all these tags over it.
Petty little bell.
Yes.
It makes no sense that Kenya stayed for 7 minutes, but girl, you were 2.5 hours late. It just makes no sense. Do I have to bring up the LA thing? Like, girl, let it go. Like, you can't expect anyone to be there after 2.5 hours. Like, I'm surprised that there was anybody there. I thought you were going to go upstairs and you're going to see ghosts, Casper and his friends. Like, no one. 2.5 hours late. You're insane.
The producers wouldn't let them go.
Oh my God, I can't.
Candy was like, I get paid for every minute I'm here, so why would I leave?
Right.
Hopefully that really is the case. Or that Mexican food in that restaurant was bomb.
I heard that Mexican food is really good, though.
I heard
haven't
that
it was
restaurant specifically is
good.
really good.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I heard that.
That's amazing. I'm a huge fan of Mexican food. I need to go to Atlanta. We need to go to Atlanta.
Let's go.
Yes,
we need to take a little panel
I'll show
trip.
y'all around.
Yay.
Play a little kickball because some people are good at kicking, especially in this cast. Portia was picked last again, just like at school. Boo boo, I feel you.
I feel you too.
I was
Been
picked
there.
last
Yeah, me
every
too.
time. And as a matter of fact, I actually got, like 3 strikes you're out. I was like one of the that caused the game basically. And I remember my bully threw the kickball ball at me in a really malicious way. And I'm still messed up about it.
Look at you now,
This
though.
is like the one time I have
Look at me now.
Hey.
Look at me now. Drake, no new friends. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about, though. Kenya said chocolate Barbie. Candy got hit in the back. Team Twirl won. Candy is Kenya has this new little thing with Candy where she's like, I'm going to do this competition thing at any time of the moment. Are you guys kickball fans here? Would you guys play some kickball?
I love kickball.
Yeah.
I would. I like kickball.
I played kickball
I was
recently,
voted kickball
actually.
queen in 8th grade.
Yeah.
You
I
think
like
I'm
dodgeball better though.
I like
Hell
dodgeball.
Yeah,
no.
I don't want anybody throwing no balls at me.
No, I do not
They
want
were
to do
still
dodgeball.
throwing the balls at you eventually.
Yeah, but kickball,
Yeah.
no, it's not the same. They're not-
It
it's
is not the same.
Yeah, it's
With
like
this
all that-
group, it could have been bad.
Right.
I don't think it would have been safe to do it with this group.
Yeah, yeah.
What we got out of this kickball scene is we revealed where we're gonna go for the cast trip that Candy and Kenya have planned. We're gonna go to Greece.
Grease,
Athens.
honey.
I want to go to Greece so bad.
Me too.
Yes, me too.
Blue water.
It looks fake.
Yeah.
Like, it's so perfect it looks fake.
all those white hotels with all those
Right.
staircases.
I did not think you were gonna say.
God.
I thought you were gonna say white people. It's gonna be like, yeah.
No, boo boo, they're not white over there.
They're,
They are
say
like
they're like
they're almost
they're
chocolate.
olive skinned. Yeah, they're olive skinned
I
out
watched Mamma
there.
Mia.
Right.
I love you so
Not
much.
Mamma Mia.
Those Grecian men, boo boo. Oh man, yes, bring it on, bring it on. We need to go to the white party out there. I can smell the poppers now. All right, I don't want to scare the straight people, but we know because Cynthia was in Greece while she was being FaceTimed by Mike here in the studio on It's Bravo Bitch. So we kind of like, we're going to see this play out. We know that the babies are there. We've seen them on Instagram. So this is kind of like, in my opinion, and I can't remember anything. If it's otherwise, please let me know in the comments. I think this is the very first cast trip in Bravo history where they're bringing their kids.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Yeah, I have
I've
never
never
I
seen
can't
that.
think of any either.
I can't think of any either.
I'm trying to think.
And it's
In
PJ.
New Jersey, don't they go to the shore with the little families or something? But yeah, not really. But not an all girls trip.
This
though.
last time, no, they didn't bring the family. It was all adults trip.
Yeah.
But I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. But that's not even a cast trip. That's like going down to the Jersey Shore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To
So,
Jersey.
yeah. So that's not really. That doesn't really count.
This is a
Although, yeah.
real cast trip, and it's overseas, and they're bringing their babies. I love it because
I love
PJ
it
in
kinda
Brooklyn.
unless I'm sitting next to them because that's like a lot on those long flights. I'm just saying. I mean,
Oh yeah, a baby on a plane for 14 hours. Yeah.
like you can't sedate them or anything, so that's a lot. I mean, I'm just saying you can't. I'm saying you can't.
I'm done with
That's what I'm
you.
saying. You cannot.
It's called baby melatonin. You
Right.
put it in their
A
formula.
gummy or the gummies you can give to your baby. Knock out.
Oh,
A
I do
marijuana
have some
gummy?
gummies.
No,
That's
I'm
a great idea. You're brilliant, Danny. That is good, girl. Now you clever, girl.
She's like, pull out the gummy. All right, Brooklyn is in swim class, which is so cute.
So cute.
But what we got out of this scene as well was the verbiage that Mark and Kenya use when they're gonna have sex.
Oh my God.
I feel like it's very like primal. It's very like
We're
bend
gonna make
over.
sexy
Yeah.
time now.
Here we go.
I don't know. It didn't fall as authentic to me. I'm like, I don't think they having sex just by the way they were talking.
I completely
real,
agree
though.
with you.
I don't think they doing
Seriously.
nothing.
I think it's like in Avatar where they connect their like ponytails and that's how they
Oh,
have
I'm
sex.
done with
So-
you.
I'm like they connect their bundles and that's how they have
Something.
sex.
something
It's very dry.
Something.
Totally agree. Like, first of all, sex, like, I don't think that you should plan it or talk about it like that because then it's not like sexy time to
Fun.
me.
Yeah.
Let's go have sexy time. It's like, what? No, why don't you drag me from my hair into the bedroom?
Right.
You know what I mean?
These 24 inches of real hair.
Exactly.
Why'd you drag me
Thank you.
by-
Kenya, more hair care.
Yes.
So that scene was just definitely not authentic to me. I totally agree with Erica. And we segue into, if I don't like you, we don't like you.
Facts.
Which is honestly, I'm Petty Betty,
Me
and
too.
I'm just gonna say that's kind of my motto. I would be pissed if my man was like, put it aside. We're gonna be friends. I would be like, what? But Silent Bob over here, aka Ken, this was really interesting. Let's talk about this bowling situation. I don't know about you guys, but for me, 3 strikes and you're out. 3 strikes and you're out, metaphorically and in the game, clearly. Let's talk about this couples event, and what did you guys think about this scene?
I like that Portia has been getting bolder and bolder, I feel like, as seasons go by. And I like that she kind of checked Kenya about the Tanya thing. And even, like, Kenya doesn't know what to do when someone comes back. I heard, like, she will for a minute, but then she kind of has, like, and she stops. And she did that with Portia. And I was like, good. Shut up, Ken.
Or do you think it was hesitation because she's like, we're kind of in a good place, like, oh, I don't really want to go there with you. I mean, put your finger down, boo.
It's one that she can only BS to a certain point, and when someone calls her out completely on her bluff, she is like, there's a certain point where she can't keep doing it, so she just stops.
Yeah, and it's like, is it about me or is it about the event? Girl, you just didn't know what to say after that.
And you don't want someone making you look goofy in front of Mark because he's already making you look goofy enough.
She needed to be checked about the see you next Tuesday thing. Like, what Portia said in the confessional is right. Like, that is something that you call someone when you want to completely disrespect them and tear them down.
Yeah.
It's something you say right before you get into a physical fight.
Seriously,
honestly.
it's like the last
exactly.
thing.
Like, y'all were just talking, and you went from 0 to, like, number 99 in, like, 5 seconds.
I don't think I've ever even called someone that before because I just feel like it's such a, like, word.
Like, there's no way the wig made her that mad.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was so dirty. I love that Portia stuck up for Tanya. I think it was great. We actually have a tweet about that later. Make sure to stick with us. We're almost done with the show. We have some news and some fabulous tweets for you guys. This couples event, I think we have some pictures of the couples as well. I like that Todd was there and he is with Candy. I like that Portia was there with Dennis, even though you know we have some beef with Dennis still.
Okay, on a side note with the Portia and Dennis thing,
Yes.
like when Cynthia was like, "Oh, well, they go to a therapy and it worked for them." I was like, "Oh my God, no, that's not working.
what?
That's not working." Cynthia, when she was talking about going to therapy with Mike, she was like,
Yes.
"Let's use the therapist that they did," and I was like, "Oh, so she can convince you to go along with some BS?"
I'm so glad you brought that
I was
up.
like, "No, don't go to that therapist because this is not like a working situation that got through therapy because he still ain't admitted nothing."
It
so
worked
go to
for
that.
Portia and Dennis.
Right. I was like, no, that's not working.
No.
That's not working.
She's taking their money.
It actually didn't work for Portia and Dennis.
Exactly. I was like, don't go.
No, she's a fabulous therapist, but I don't think that she's right for Cynthia and Mike. It's like, you know, you have to have a fit. And also, it did not work for for Dennis and Portia.
Right, that was really my
She's
point.
not the therapist for them. She's not pushing them hard enough.
Yeah. And I'm not hating on the therapist. She seems super cool. But she, she's not really checking Dennis like he need to be checked.
Well, you gotta take baby steps in therapy. It makes the
that's
bill
true.
longer. You know what I mean? Like, we're not gonna get to the breakthrough right away. Y'all gotta come for like 6 months.
Exactly. Very
And
true.
you can't scare the man away too. Dennis looks terrified every time he's in there.
Yeah.
If she just exposes him right away, he's gonna leave.
That's true. He's gonna leave and then go to brunch with 4 other women.
Exactly.
Okay, let's get back.
Oh my gosh, the shade, honey.
I'm just saying the facts.
Okay, well, back to the couples.
Yes.
And we're pulling up the photo. Like, this is really interesting. What do you guys think about the Ken nickname?
I love it. I think it's
cute.
adorable.
I think it's cute,
except
too.
that- Except that she has decided to change herself totally. And I don't like that because I feel like you rah-rah till you die. So be like that with him too. Mm-hmm. Because then maybe he might back down. He's somebody needs to check him too.
Rein it in.
So,
Rein
I
it
feel
in.
like it's exhausting to be a completely different person than who you truly
Yeah,
are, and it looks exhausting.
It looks,
to watch
yeah.
I mean,
Kenya.
and to the people out there who think I am hating on Kenya, I'm not.
I am.
Like when I'm not though, because when
Come on my page. I've been having y'all trolls
I know
for weeks.
exactly. They've been coming to me too, and I just want to make this clear. I think I'm not her super fan, but the way he treats her in front of her friends, like that's horrible. Like, don't degrade me. Like, it's one thing. Like, don't degrade me.
And everyone's
especially in front of
laughing in the
everybody.
corner at you. They're all like,
Yeah.
oh my God, she's so quiet.
Yeah.
Look at this. She's like a church
Right.
mouse.
No,
She's not saying
like,
anything.
That's not even right, dude.
But it
So,
also,
I'm
as
her.
Kenya, would make me rethink how I come crazy at people, because like I look dumb because people wouldn't be laughing at you if you weren't coming crazy
I
at
feel
them.
I feel
You
like
know?
it's good though that her husband's doing that, because like you said, like, I'm looking crazy and he's trying to check your ass. Like, you know what? You look stupid. You need to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't check people in front of folks. You know what I'm saying? If we a
don't.
team, just like when you go out to the store with your mama, you start acting a fool, she gives you a look. Like,
The
you know
look,
when we
the-
get home,
that
I'm
ass
going
is
to handle
mine
this.
look.
And that's how Mark should have been looking at her like,
But,
Ken?
but the evidence was mounting. Everyone was like, oh, no. Kenya didn't invite me. And he's like, she said that? So sometimes you need to be checked.
Yes.
Boo-boo. And let me just say, Nene shows up. Nene and Greg showed up kind of like Bobby and Whitney. They were just like,
Yes!
Bobby!
If my wife can't come, I can't go nowhere where my wife don't. I'm like, Greg, I feel you, boo. The loyalty right there. I'm not going nowhere where my wife is not invited. And Mark is like, I'm gonna beat your ass now, girl. I told you specifically I wanted them more than anybody there, and you're over here playing Instagram games. He's like, it's irrelevant to me. I'm not on Instagram.
Right.
I was like, uh-oh, daddy, get the belt.
He's on Grindr. Never, I'm just kidding.
Right, I'm
great
gonna
show,
head
y'all.
out.
Good
All right,
night.
I'm gonna head out.
He looking for power bottoms.
Woo!
Just kidding.
Mom, come get me. I'm scared.
I'm ready, Mark. I'm ready to be checked.
Yes.
'Cause,
Who's gonna check you, boo?
He giving me zaddy vibes. I thought it was nice.
Yes.
You look
This
very
is going to be
handsome.
very
He's looking
interesting.
really sexy though. Even though he's mean, he's sexy.
I want to talk a little bit about the next week's episode that's coming up. This was really interesting. Me and Danny could not really get over this for like 30 seconds after we saw this. We were just kind of just stood there and we were like, did that just happen? Someone asked him, like, Danny,
He said, how are you dealing with like going through marriage?
Hate it.
He said, I hate it.
which
Hate it.
let's do some predictions.
Or how do you like going through marriage? Yeah,
I
I
want
hate
to
it.
talk about what we're going to
AfterBuzz
expect.
TV predictions.
Before we get into our news and gossip and tweets, I just want to really quickly, what do you think we're going to expect from the next episode? Because this is like an onion unfolding. That is like, I thought I would be mad about being checked in front of my friend. Oh, no. We have bigger fish to fry.
Bigger.
You just said that you don't like the rite of marriage. Like, what?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about this? Predictions on what do you think is going to happen?
I think it's going to be a big Mark and Kenya fallout. And he's really going to get her together next episode. Whatever he mad about, he going to get her together.
I think it's going to be a really big, huge Mark and Kenya fallout, but I think it's going to be huge because she's finally going to say something. Because now that you're on air talking about ended, I'm tired of marriage, and I'm sitting at the table, I can't move from the table. You're not gonna let me walk around the party. I think finally she's tired of the acting because we know what kind of actress she is, and she's just gonna blow up eventually. I'm hoping, girl.
Yeah, I want big Kenya energy next episode.
Yes, big
Right.
Kenya, bring
Big Kenya
The Kenya we
energy.
know. I want her
Yes.
bringing all the smoke
Yes.
to Mark.
I want her to twirl all over his behind. Twirl on him, girl.
Well, they're all going to be there. All the couples are going to be there, so it's going to be nice to see. Let's get into our news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So basically, this is what we're seeing. Like, we saw Nene come into the little bowling alley, and she tried to hug Kenya. She tried to say hello to Kenya, and Kenya's been unresponsive. So I think Nene's kind of taking this to the forefront now. She's basically saying, like, I have tried several times to make up with her, and Kenya's not giving me nothing. And so Kenya decided to speak on it, and she said, I'm not in a good place with Nene. I know how nasty she has been to me for no reason. I feel very uncomfortable being in an intimate setting. We saw this on the show tonight. What do you guys think about this? Like, I feel like this is kind of a way to ice someone out completely off the show. We've seen it in other franchises. If you can't film with someone and someone is refusing to be filmed, like, that storyline can't go anywhere. I feel
Right.
like Kenya is doing this on purpose. She's going to ride this Nene problem all the way to the reunion. And I feel like she doesn't want Nene on the show. She's back now, and she's like, I'm the queen, and you need to take a back seat. What do we think about this before we get into tweets?
Well, Kenya did say that Nene is like not getting paid or whatever, and so because she's not on these episodes. And I guess Nene clarified and said, no, my rate is set. The money that I get is the money that I get, no matter what episodes I'm on. So Nene doesn't seem like she's bothered by it, kinda. But I think that is what Kenya's trying to do, and which is smart, but.
We covered this on our
Yes,
show.
we did cover this.
Talk about it, though, real quick.
Well, two things. One is I felt like Andy is kind of backpedaling on the whole Nene issue as far as getting her off the show, because he's like, well, we aired everything she put on there. So, and like, Kenya, what rumors are you talking about? So I think he's kind of making it so that he can blame the rap on Kenya. Another thing I heard is that while Kenya has been out promoting and had all this like toured, press and stuff, where she's had the time to verbalize these these issues with Nene. Because Nene's not gonna play dead. She's been going on her own social media tour and talking to her own blog so she can kind of combat Kenya. So I think it is gonna kind of be more about those two and not about Andy. Andy's trying to fall back, I think, because he's not getting a good rap.
Kenya said on Watch What Happens Live about Nene, I think she's pretty much dead to me.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't think that's true.
It was interesting because Nene was talking about lawyers a couple weeks ago, so I really don't know what's happening. You're going to have to stick with us until the very end. We'll find everything out at the reunion.
Yes,
Let's
we
pull
will.
up some tweets very quickly because it's setting the tone of what we're feeling like throughout. I feel like these tweets really represent how we felt throughout the entire broadcast of tonight's episode. The first one is, can we zoom in a tiny little bit? Kenya... It says, Kenya was straight up bullying Kim Fields, so she has absolutely no right to call anyone a bully ever. I don't know how y'all love this narcissistic bully so much.
Like for
Actual.
And if you're listening to us, it's a picture of Nene giving us this look from the reunion.
And it's called karma. Okay, go
The
ahead.
next tweet is by Shabana Khan on Twitter, and she says, I love that Portia has Tanya's back. Another reason I love her, which was great. We really liked that
We
tonight.
loved that.
Yeah.
Love that. Love
We
you,
love a
Portia.
good
that
friendship.
journey.
We love a sisterhood, a real one, not no
Yes.
fake leopard brunches. This one had me cracking up. I love this tweet. It said, Portia and Candy over there laughing at Kenya like your siblings do when you're getting a whooping.
I'm
Yes.
weak.
And it's so true. Like, everyone was laughing at you, little church mouse. Mark, let your butt have it. And
I
it was
also just
nice to see.
Like seeing Portia and Candy have a nice moment, even
Yeah,
if it
that
wasn't
was
at
nice. Yeah.
Kenya.
Yes, I will take a Candy and Portia moment anytime
For
these
sure.
days. And then this is from Danny. She brought this up, and it's kind of what we just touched on. But this is the official tweet. Danny, you can take it away.
Nene says, it looks real shady. A few of my cast didn't post to tune into Real Housewives of Atlanta tonight. I'm sure they don't want the ratings to spike when I'm on. I tune in even when I'm not on, always. Andy has Kenya on his show tonight. The episode has nothing to do with her.
So that
Hater.
was the Watch What Happens Live thing, saying everyone's promoting like when they're, every week, and all of a sudden the week that I'm on, y'all not promoting anything. So there's definitely something happened. We're gonna figure out. I'm gonna get to the bottom of it.
Yes, we
Make
will.
sure to watch our after show on Sundays, 9 p.m. every time. That's pretty much all we have for you guys tonight. I'm Hollywood Leanne. It's my favorite day of the week. Make sure to follow me on all the things. Follow It's Bravo Bitch Podcast on Instagram. Check out the show Wednesday, 2 p.m. Danny, where can we find you? What do you want to promote?
You guys can find me on Instagram at @TheDanny'sB.
All right, you guys, you can follow me on all of my social media at Erica, Erika, D as in door, Edwards.
And I'm your girl Drew Jones. You guys can follow me on all the things at OKDrewJ.
We'll see you Wednesday on It's Bravo Bitch and Sunday on the after show for Atlanta. Bye, AfterBuzzers.
Bye.
Ciao for now, folks.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.